Alright guys, how many videos have you seen for diesel heaters? I know this isn't going to be the first one you've seen. Just showing what I've done. So I've got my on-off for my battery right here. I've put this little switch thing on here so I can control power going to the diesel heater controller. I mounted up here on the wall. I got my heaters they're the Vevor brand, and they're like the style that doesn't have the tank on top. They're kind of a standalone unit that you can kind of fixture any way that you would like. So the kit does come with these two, or if you buy one heater it comes with one tank obviously. Down here I've got the little pump that feeds the little injector inside of the heater itself. On the outside of the trailer, I did a little hole saw and mounted a shoring plug on the outside so that I can just plug 110 into this thing and keep those batteries charged all the time. But where my diesel experience, my heater build is a little different than everybody else's is when I went down to talk to my brother. He had put a couple of these in his trailer and I just wanted to go see what he had done mounting wise and everything else. He had said something that kind of caught my ear. He told me, whatever you do, make sure you get these exhaust flanges for the exhaust because of how hot the exhaust is coming out of it. And as I drove home I thought, man, like if the exhaust really is that warm, like why not try to keep some of that in the trailer? So what I did is, and it's pretty thin gauge tube, but it's 1.5 inch square tube that I had just sitting here in the shop. And it's probably not quite 1/8 wall, so it's heavier but not terribly. I threw it down here in a little track, one for each heater. And the reason I did that is, one, try to keep the heat inside the trailer. Two, I didn't realize this, but man, they get hot. Like that is blued from the heater. And so I'm gonna build me a little basket that sits right above that tubing, and I'll be able to put gloves and boots and whatever I want down in there to help dry things out and just use the heat. But by doing that, my exhaust temperature coming out of the trailer, I'll bet is lowered close to 100 degrees. If I get my non-contact thermometer and hit right close to where the exhaust is being dumped out of these heaters, you're well over 250 degrees. So you can see I built these little stands that I can easily unbolt and lift the heater up off, but it's just blowing right down into these tubes. And you know, I'm pretty skeptical of these little diesel heaters. Number one is they're cheap. I mean, you can get these for about $100 a shot, and usually my theory is you get what you pay for, and that seemed pretty cheap. But I've been rather impressed. Them things blow super hot. So I mean, we hit the button 3 minutes ago. It takes them a good 5 or so minutes to get hot. They're both starting to get warm now. But pretty impressed with them little buggers. And they don't use a ton of power, and they definitely don't use a lot of diesel. They don't go through very much at all. Just to give you a reference, I had the diesel all the way to the top of the tank right here, and to run it down to there, that's about 4 hours, maybe a hair more. So yeah, they're not burning much diesel. But just thought I'd throw another diesel heater video on the YouTube so that you could see what I did. I know everybody does something just a little bit different, but that is what I did on mine, and it seems to work well. Out here, obviously have these exhaust flanges, so that, I mean, it's warm, but it ain't gonna burn you. I'm pretty sure the one's coming out of his wood, and then the intake air is, oh, it's right there. The intake air is right there, and then your exhaust is right there. And they work pretty dang good. If any of you have any questions or anything else, I can definitely video more in depth on what I did there, but that's where we're at.